Hello everybody, welcome back to Simple Gaming Review. Yesterday I made a video on the Nintendo Switch 2. I talked about my thoughts on the console, as well as I might not actually get one. I may actually wait a few years because I have the Nintendo Switch OLED. So with that being said, in my last video, I decided to make another video talking about the Nintendo Switch OLED, and is the Switch OLED still worth it, even though the Switch 2 is going to be coming out soon. So is the Switch OLED still worth it? If you don't own a Nintendo Switch, or if you want to get into the Switch, should you wait, or is the OLED the best possible option? Now, I love the Switch OLED. I've had it ever since Christmas. It's been an amazing system. Has a beautiful screen, very big screen as well. I spent many hours playing the Atari 5050 collection, Mario Kart 8 on it, and many other games like The House of the Dead and so on. I think the Switch OLED is a fantastic system. And if you're somebody who doesn't have a Nintendo Switch, I do think it is still worth it to pick up the OLED, especially if you're someone who's a collector, or if you're a big Nintendo fan. The OLED is definitely the perfect option. It's also, in my opinion, the best Switch, at least when it comes to the Switch 1. The OLED is way better than the Switch Lite, and the Switch OLED is way better than the original. And the other thing is that the Switch 2 most likely will be more expensive than the Switch OLED. So if you're somebody who just wants to play, let's say that you're somebody who wants to get into Nintendo Switch, let's say you're somebody who's new to Switch, I definitely think the OLED is a perfect system to get. There's also a whole bunch of deals that happen. Those Switch OLEDs that you can buy used, there's some that you can buy from Japan, which are a lot cheaper, because I think the Switch is mostly region-free. And overall, I do think the OLED is still worth it in 2025. Yes, the 2 is going to be coming out soon, but I still do plan to use my OLED for a couple of years, maybe even just permanently use it until the Switch 2 gets games I actually really want. But as far as like the Switches go and which ones are worth it, I definitely think the Switch OLED is worth it. The Nintendo Switch Lite is worth it if you're like somebody who wants a cheaper option and you don't really care about the dock, you don't really care about the Joy-Cons. But if you want the full Switch experience, I'm talking about like the dock, I'm talking about the Joy-Cons, I'm talking about stuff like that, the Switch OLED is perfect for that. And if you're somebody who's on the go, where you like to actually play your games on handheld mode, this is perfect because it's OLED. It's a nice glass screen. The screen is beautiful. The original Switch and Lite do not have that amazing screen. It's an LCD screen, but this one has that lovely OLED screen. The games look amazing on here. The screen is really nice and big. And overall, the Nintendo Switch OLED has a nicer design, has a big, nice kickstand, and they like redesigned the vents, they redesigned the power button. The Switch OLED looks kind of like the Switch 2, but like, obviously there's some differences. But the Switch OLED, in my opinion, is the perfect Switch to buy. And if you're somebody who wants to get into Switch right now, and you don't really want to wait for the Switch 2, or if you're somebody who, just wants to play Mario Kart 8, you just want to play Pokemon, you just want to play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, I do think the Switch OLED is still perfect. Not to mention that I don't think the Switch 2 is going to launch with a nice OLED display. So keep that in mind, that even if you do get the Switch 2, I don't think Nintendo is going to make it a OLED screen, because that means that at launch it's going to be pretty pricey, and it's already going to be more expensive than the Switch OLED. So with that stuff being said, I do think Nintendo Switch OLED is perfect. I do think it is still worth it in 2025. I've been using mine since Christmas, and even though the 2 is coming out soon, again, I mean, this is a perfect Switch. Nice screen, and all the games look beautiful on the Switch OLED. Is better designed, better made than in my opinion, than the original switches. It feels more solid, if that makes sense, to the light and the original switches. And I think that if you are somebody who really wants the Switch experience, right? Or if you're somebody who wants to upgrade still, the OLED is a perfect upgrade. And the Switch 2, when it comes out, there's not going to be a bunch of games for the Switch 2. So if you do decide to pick up the OLED, at least the Switch 1 has a whole library of games you can play. Switch 2 is going to take a while for games to start coming out for that. So people can wait if you want to, if you just want the Switch experience. But anyway, I'm in the video. Hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like. Comment down below what you think about Nintendo Switch OLED and if you think it's worth it. I definitely think it's still worth it though. Especially for people who don't own a Switch and they really want to get into it. The OLED will give you hours and hours and hours of fun. Many years of enjoyment. And even though the 2 is about to come out, again, look at it this way. The Switch 1 has more games to offer you already. Not to mention that the Switch OLED offers you a nice OLED screen, a nice OLED display. So the Switch 2, it's going to take a while for the games to start coming out. Like with all new game consoles, it's going to take a while. It's going to take time. So Switch OLED is perfect if you want to get into Switch right now. If you want to upgrade, let's say you want to upgrade from your Lite to an OLED or your original Switch, definitely upgrade to the OLED. And if you want to, yes, later on in life you can get Switch 2, or maybe you could upgrade to a Switch 2 eventually. But I don't really see a reason to do that quite yet, because again, Switch 2, it's not out yet. There's not going to be any games for it. I mean, they may bundle it with like Mario Kart 9 or something, but until more games come out for the Switch 2, the Switch 1, especially the OLED, the best model of the Switch in my opinion, this is the go-to Switch. Anyway though, hope you all have a lovely day or night. Peace out. Leave a like, and let me know what you think about the OLED, especially when the Switch 2 is around the corner. But again, I think the Switch OLED is perfect. I think it always will be worth it, especially with the game library, the lovely display. It's beautiful. Anyway, I'm in the video, and goodbye. Oh yeah, Switch OLED. And my lovely control.